Sometimes life asks you a scary question. Do you really deserve to be alive today? In the Arctic, where it can get as cold as 80 degrees, one wrong move, 1 second of doubt, or one small mistake can mean the difference between life and death. An old woman opened her empty cupboard that day and saw that it was empty, not a single thing to eat, not a thing. The wind wasn't just cold, it was also violent, cutting through the frozen ocean like knives. She had no choice. She stepped outside, her boots crunching in the deep snow, and she squinted against the storm. The ice in front of her seemed to go on forever, and it was hard, but she kept walking, looking for something, anything, to keep her going. Every step felt like she was pulling her soul across the frozen white ground. Then, the ice broke her heart. She fell into the freezing water when a big crack opened up in the ocean under her feet. She fought with her body and hands, but the cold ocean pulled her down without mercy. She couldn't breathe, think, or move for a second. Do something, fight, survive, her mind yelled, but her body didn't pay attention anymore. And then she saw it, a dark shadow on the bright white snow, a crow. It was small and unassuming, but its eyes were full of intelligence and determination. Not afraid, no doubt. It went around in circles, looking at her and the deadly water that was about to swallow her. And then, against all odds, it did something. The crow flew down with a little rock in its beak and began to hit the ice close to her. It chipped away at the frozen barrier, just enough to break it. The little bird kept trying to help the old woman get up, which was hard and hurt her. Yes, a crow was keeping her safe. And at that moment, when the wind howled and the snow whipped around them, something amazing happened. They became friends. Life made them friends. It wasn't the cold that made her heart race. It was being thankful and not believing it. She stroked the crow's feathers as soon as she got to solid ice. The crow got close, as if to say, "We're in this together." From that day on, they were never apart again. She would feed it bits of fish, and it would help her cross dangerous ice, warn her of danger, and even help her in ways that only it could understand. The storm could be really bad. You could go blind in the blizzard, but they were stronger than the ice when they worked together. Every day was a hard balance between living and dying. She would walk for hours across frozen seas looking for food. The crow would fly above her, calling, warning, and sometimes bringing her small gifts like a piece of fish, a twig, or a stone to show that it understood. And after a while, in that never-ending cold, they learned to talk to each other in ways that weren't just words. A look, a nod, a flap of wings. They became partners in life and death. But even in a world that is cold and cruel, fate is always close by. One day, she slipped on a thin sheet of ice and fell. Her crow friend, who always flew close by, disappeared into the wind. She called and looked, but the storm made it impossible for her to hear. It seemed like her heart had been ripped out. The person who had saved her, her best friend, and her little friend who had helped her survive was gone. She fell to her knees on the cold ice, and snow started to pile up around her. She had never felt so alone in her life before. The Arctic silence was heavier than any storm and pushed against her ears. But in the silence, she thought about how brave that little crow was. Its loyalty, smarts, and willpower. That memory made her angry. Even though her hands hurt and her body was shaking, she built a shelter. She dug into the snow and made walls out of ice, even though the wind was hurting her face and hands. For a long time, she thought about the crow coming back when it got dark. She thought about it sitting on the roof, its wings flapping against the snow. This was a sign that hope can live on even when things are really bad. At night, she would sit by the small fire she had started and stare into the flames while thinking about the bond that had kept her alive. Could she ever repay that kind of courage? Could she live in a world where someone or something gave up everything for her and then vanished without a trace? Every sound of the wind and every shadow that moved across the ice made her jump. She hoped, was scared, and prayed that it was her friend coming back. And every now and then, it seemed like she could see it. A black shape moving across the white ground and wings whispering in the distance. She often thought, did you live today because I deserved it or because someone else believed in me? She thought that this tough world might be teaching her more than just how to stay alive. That every person she met and every relationship she made could have effects that she could never know. And she began to understand that staying alive isn't just about not dying. You need courage to stay alive. Empathy is what keeps you going. You have to hold on to something important to stay alive, even when the world tries to take it away. She thought about how fragile life is and how short moments of trust and connection can change everything. Every little thing she remembered about her crow, the way it waited, the way it pushed her towards safety, and the way it shared in her struggle became a lifeline in the white desolation. So I ask you this, when the world puts you to the test, when the cold and chaos get to you, when someone or something changes your life in a way that is truly amazing, would you honor that gift? Could you keep going even when it's not there? Could you be the reason someone else stays alive, the little heartbeat that won't let them go? In the Arctic, just staying alive isn't enough. Courage is actually connection, memory, and hope. It is the bond that ties two lives together and won't let go. And sometimes, even in the worst storm, the smallest thing can show you what it really means to care, fight, and live. Life can be mean to us and leave us behind. But sometimes a little animal can show us how to live, love, and get through hard times. When the ice breaks beneath you, when the wind threatens to tear you apart, and when hope seems lost, will you find a reason to live? And even more importantly, could you be that reason for someone else, even if it means giving up everything?